What's going on, guys? Welcome back. As you can see, it's officially winter. So we got the loader in the shop here taking up a bunch of space like we do every year, but we use it a lot for snow removal, grading the track, pulling cars out and pushing trucks around, stuff like that. And we've had a lot of snow in the last few days here, so I haven't had a chance to film much, haven't had a chance to work on the car much. So with that being said, I'm gonna film today's episode in like a vlog style format and just carry my camera around with me because a lot of stuff to do. I'm gonna do a cowl hood on the 70 Camaro. That'll kind of be the last little bit for my front clip. We might take this thing out, go clear a few trails and pull out a stuck 76 GMC I've got in the back, depending on if my buddy shows up. So should we get onto that, we'll bring the drone to the back and whatever else. But first things first, I want to get this hood on there so I can line up this front clip so that I can work my way back, get my body line figured out, and weld in my doors here. So like I said, this is going to be my first cowl hood. I don't have a sample in front of me to go off of, so I went online, got it a few dimensions of where the cowl hood starts on like a fiberglass one or whatever, and got an idea where it's going to go, taped it off just to kind of give me a visual on how it's going to look. And I transformed that over to the new hood I'm going to cut up here. So I'll use my angle grinder just to trace it out, and then I'll pull out the quickie saw, cut the majority of it out, and then I've got some sheet metal. I'll get an idea what I'm working with, but the biggest thing is that if I can set it on top of here, I can kind of line up these fenders a little better. So Alright, so we got the hood on the car here, and to be honest, I'm not a real big fan of how it looks, but it serves its purpose, which is to give me clearance from the air cleaner to the top of the hood. So I've got my 1/2 inch of clearance, and maybe I'll like it as I finish it off. Like I said, it's going to come from here all the way to the back, cut that down, and hopefully it looks better done than it does now. And you know, I'll finish it off, use some Bono wherever needed. But I've got the back hood pin posts off, and I've got the front posts off as well. But it's presented me with another problem, which is, well, what's hitting is the front fender mount. This right there is bumping into this part on the hood. So either I trim up the hood, which I'll probably do, but I have also come up with the idea to put a spacer in the front mount here just to bring the front fender up probably about 3/4 of an inch. Whether it throws the whole body line off, I don't know. Like, I don't know how straight this is to begin with. So once we got it all together, I'll be able to see a little better. But first things first is I'm gonna finish off this hood. Okay, so we got the cowl done here. Still got a little bit of fabricating to do, a little more welding. I'm gonna go do some seam sealer, put some Bondo on it. It kind of came out as expected. This line doesn't quite line up with that vent, but that's okay. I can look past that for now. The template here came out pretty damn good. Worked for both sides, are identical, and overall it's pretty straight. I think it's about like 1/4 inch out on this front corner, but I didn't tell you that. No one's counting. So gonna prep it for paint and work on the rest of the front clip here. I put a spacer on the front fender here just to bring it up 1/2 inch, and so I'm getting a little closer to closing this hood gap. So what I'm gonna do next is cut out some more inner structure on this hood to drop it down, because currently it's sitting on the subframe and the fender mount. So that's the next step. So the hood's prepped and ready for Bondo. I just cut this thing up here, sliced a bit off that just to get the right angle, because I want to get just a small seam of Bondo within there so I can drag it along. So first I'm going to tackle that lower seam, fill in this seam up here. As you saw, I spot welded it from the inside out, so it's a pretty tight seam, but there's still some openings. And then within here, I'll probably put some masking tape on the back side just to hold any Bondo up, and then I'll just fill that. And well, I don't want to go too crazy with the Bondo just yet, but enough to seal it, get it half-assed straight, and we'll hit it with the orbital and shoot in primer. All right, so we're gonna take a break from the Bondo and head out with the loader here. I gotta take it out real quick. So got the Mini running, we'll pull that thing ahead. We'll start this thing up. I ended up throwing the summer wheels back on this thing because I just couldn't stand the offset with those winter tires. So I'm gonna get some 16 studded winters for this thing, and it'll probably get that thing going a little better. All right, so it turned into a really nice day here, and I figured I'd take advantage and fire this thing up because it's above zero. One of the last days it'll be like that for the year, and I got a bunch of wood chips to knock down, and nothing does it better than this thing. So we'll pull the tarp off this thing, do a cold start on it. Like I said, it's just above 0, so shouldn't be too bad. And this thing always starts so well. So I'm just getting ready to paint this thing. I did a few passes of Bondo on it, nothing too crazy. Like I said, I'm gonna get into the serious body work later on, but for now, a lot of the work's bulked out. It's pretty damn straight. All I'm gonna do is just seal it with some primer where I was working, go underneath, seal it up a bit, and that way I can throw it back on. So I just had to pull the Camaro out of the shop just to be able to stand back and get a full visual of this thing with all the body panels on. And I'm glad I did, because, you know, it's starting to look like a real car with all this shit on here. It may just be hanging, but it's a start. And this hood came out awesome. I'm very happy with it. For the few layers of Bondo and mismatched primer, I think it looks great. Saved me like $500 or $600. So I've got my work cut out for me for the next few weeks with this thing, hanging the doors, doing the quarters and whatever else. But as you saw, we had the loader and the dozer out, so we're grooming the track. We've got winter tires for the Austin Mini Cooper, and so the racetrack's coming along. And that army truck is still sitting there full of diesel. It's been about 3 weeks to a month, so who knows, maybe we'll pull start that thing and it'll unseize. So stay tuned for the next few weeks, because even I don't know what I'm doing.